Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome for today's discussion on chapter 18. My gratitude to Kesavan Prabhu, Saras Mataji, Vanita Mataji from Taiping, and also Karpia Saraswati Mataji. So, thank you for coming for our this thing. And today is our final chapter, chapter 18. And of course, this chapter also falls on Ekadasi day, Vaikunta Ekadasi, Putra Ekadasi. So this morning we discussed on chapter 17, and now we are going to discuss on chapter 18, which is the most important, the final conclusion. Okay, final conclusion of that Bhagavad Gita. It's very interesting. And in chapter 18 is the biggest verse, biggest text. The chapter has something like 70 over verses, but it's supposed to be 2 sessions. Okay, when we do Gita again last time, we just did for 1 hour. So it's 2 sessions, but now I've managed to synchronize everything to 1 session. Okay, so today is a wonderful day, a very auspicious day. And of course, the grand finale of batch 5. Okay, after this, we're going to start doing this Sastra study. So might not be doing Gita Gyan anymore. Anyway, let Krishna decide. Okay, so with that thought that let's start our today's program. So first we start to pay our obeisances to our spiritual master and all that acharyas in our parampara to get their mercy so that we can understand chapter 18 in a very nice way. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swa Parantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Scha Sri Rupam Sagarjatam Shahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vidamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Jayapataka Swami Niti Namine Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaurakada Damadaya Nagaragrama Tarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasacharistarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Vidaitai Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vignanadaine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jala Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtai Dina Tarine Rupanuga Virudha Pasitanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambra Sambodhe Padambu Jayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Sarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Vir Bhava Bhumestvam Nidasa Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarobhauma Sri Jagannatayate Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Paditanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavebhayo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratise Namaha Pancha Tattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavadaram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Chetam Suratau Pangur Mama Manda Matirgati Mat Sarvasva Padam Bojav Radha Madana Mohanau Divyat Vrindaranya Kalpa Drumadaha Srimad Ratnagara Singhasanastau Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Devo Prashtalibi Sevya Manosmarami Srimad Rasarasaram Divam Sivata Tatastita Karshan Venus Vaner Gopir Gopinata Yasri Stuna Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanustude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shri Guru Bhaktavranda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nasta Prayeswa Bhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki Hari Om Tatsat. Hare Krishna. Welcome. So today we're going to go to the grand finale, right? The perfection of renunciation. Okay, the title on chapter 18. So just to a short recap from where we started. First, we started in the Bhagavad Gita chapter 1. In chapter 1, the title was Observing the Army of Battle of Kurukshetra, whereby Arjuna told Krishna, bring the chariot and put it in the middle. I want to see who is there to fight with me. So Arjuna took the chariot and parked right in front of Dronacharya and Bhishma Dev. When he started to see that his grandfather and teacher were there right in front of them, ready, prepared to fight, that's when the reality struck in. And after that, he started to look around. He saw all his family members, relations, and everything. He was so heartbroken, and he started to lament. So he's saying that he doesn't want to, fight the war. He rather become a mendicant. He rather be killed empty-handed. So he was giving all kind of excuses, right? Then in chapter 2, Gita summarized, the content of Gita summarized. And here, chapter 2, Krishna was listened to all that lamentation of Arjuna in chapter 1. Then in chapter 2, he started to chastise. He said, how can this impurity came upon you? It doesn't fit for those who knows the value of life. Because you are a Kshatriya, you should fight. Okay. Then he started to give many examples about Sankhya, about this Atma, the body. No, this body will perish. The Atma will go on and everything. So then after that, in chapter 3, then Arjuna will start to say, Hare Krishna, I can't follow your equivocal instruction. Now you're telling this, now you're telling that. Can you decisively tell me? Can you just tell me systematically what I should do? All right. Now I'm a soul surrendered unto you. I accept you as my spiritual master. So we see in chapter 3, Karma Yoga, Krishna start to explain, do your job without expecting any result, because that's your duty. Then in chapter 4, Krishna spoke about transcendental knowledge. All right. He explained about the spiritual knowledge of the soul that stays in your heart, but all pervasive, just like the sun in one place, but it brighten up the entire universe. All right. So then in chapter 5, now Krishna started to speak about Karma Yoga, that is action in Krishna consciousness. All right. So how? Very simple. Outwardly perform your duty, inwardly engage your mind thinking of Krishna. All right. So outwardly you seems to be like an ordinary person, but inwardly you are renouncing. Okay, you're engaging all the work that you do. All right. Krishna Arpanam. Okay, I go to the job, I start my job. Krishna Arpanam, I offer this to Krishna. Then end of the month, I get the salary. Krishna Arpanam, I offer the salary to Krishna. Then everything dedicated to Krishna. All right. So that's it. Then after that, in chapter 6, Krishna spoke about Dhyana Yoga, how Astanga Yoga, the eightfold yoga system, how we can achieve success by controlling the mind and the senses. All right. Okay. So then, after that, he focuses on Paramatma. After listening to that, to all these things, Arjuna says, "Oh my God, Krishna, I think I can't follow this. It seems to be very impossible. It looks like, because my mind is chanchala. Chanchala means my mind doesn't sit in one place, just like a monkey. Chanchala means monkey. It doesn't sit in one place. It's like roaming around. I can't even control. It looks like easy to control the wind, but I think I can't control my mind." And Krishna says, yes, what you say is true. It is tough, but with proper practice, it's possible. Then after that, Krishna says, but that practice will take you many, many births to achieve perfection. Then after he speak on chapter 6, Dhyana Yoga, then he went to chapter 7, knowledge of the absolute. All right. So here Krishna explained about that Krishna is the supreme cause and sustaining force of everything, both material and spiritual. All right. So advanced soul surrender unto him in devotion. Okay. The advanced soul surrender unto him in devotion, whereas the impious soul divert their mind into the object of worship, into other objects of worship. Okay. So from chapter 7, we understand it's a confidential part, the cream of the Bhagavad Gita. Okay. First 6 chapter is the upper crust. Second 6 chapter is as this thing. But the middle 6 chapter is the cream. So that's a cream. So that's why here you start to explain. All right. It's very nectarian. And in chapter 8, of course, then Krishna start to speak about attaining the supreme. How? By remembering Krishna in devotion. All right, throughout one's life. That means the entire life, towards the entire life, we just start to remember Krishna with devotion, and especially at the time of death. Right? At the time again. So at the time of death, we can remember Krishna. One can attain his supreme abode beyond this material world. All right. And chapter 9, of course, Krishna start to speak on the most confidential part of the knowledge, whereby here Lord Krishna start to declare himself as the supreme Godhead, all right, and the supreme object of worship, all right. The soul, and after that, he also gave another confidential topic. He said the soul is eternally related to him. Okay, soul is all forever is eternally related through devotional service or bhakti. All right, and by reviving that devotion, one returned to Krishna. And chapter 10, there's a beautiful chapter. We spoke on the opulence of the absolute. All right. So all the wondrous phenomena shown, power, beauty, grandeur, sublimity, either the material world or the spiritual world are but partial manifestation. All right. So then here, the highlight of this in chapter 10 is this Chatursloki, then 10.8, 10.9, 10.10, and 10.11. Am Sarvasva Prabhu, I am all pervading. Then second, 10.10, 10.8, 10.9, what Krishna says, I am my pure devotee, always takes so much delight talking about me, discussing about me. Then after that, he said that I to them, I show them a special mercy. I go and light up their heart. That means I bring with the torch of knowledge. That means 10, 11. I bring that with the torch of knowledge. I enlighten the person. All right, with the torch of knowledge, I go to the heart and enlighten it. So all the darkness born of ignorance is dissipated. All right. So this Chatusloki is considered the most important 4 slokas. All right. So in chapter 10, as I said, please try to memorize the 4 sloka and always keep it with you, because that is something very, very convincing. All right. It convinces you because see, all the word of Krishna is actually a conviction. Krishna is giving you conviction. Do not worry. I'm there for you. So the entire conversation is Krishna is convincing, all right, assuring, not only convincing, assuring Arjuna, you are on the right path, don't worry. So when we are studying Bhagavad Gita, we also understand that we are on the right path because we are taking Krishna as the supreme object, and Krishna starts to give you all suggestion and all this thing. All right, he's just giving you, he's convincing the person, let me convincing you and I. All right, and I shouldn't use the word convincing, assuring. He's assuring that he is there, right? Then in chapter 12, ultimately, after discussing all kind of yoga, Sankhya yoga, Dhyana yoga, and all these yogas, at last he came to devotional service, the topmost yoga, Bhakti yoga. Okay. Then in chapter 13, we also spoke on nature and joy and the consciousness. Okay. That means we understand the difference between the body and the soul and the super soul. The body, soul, and super don't know the difference. Beyond both attains liberation from these material world. Right? Then in chapter 14, Krishna spoke about the 3 modes of material nature, pradhana. So pradhana means, what is pradhana? We have that 5 senses, 5 working senses, 5 knowledge acquiring senses, and the body made of 5 elements. So total is 20. Then we have subtle senses, which is 3, mind, intelligence, ego. So total is 23. All right. There's another one, pradhana. Pradhana means the 3 modes of material nature, which is unmanifested. So total we have 24. So the pradhana is what? The mode of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance. So in which mode you are stuck, in which mode you are engaged, all right? So that's the thing. So in chapter 14, Krishna started to explain about the 3 modes of material nature, which is pradhana, which is this thing. So then in chapter 15, we spoke on the yoga of the supreme person, okay? The ultimate purpose of Vedic knowledge has been revealed here. What is the ultimate purpose of Vedic knowledge? To detach oneself from the entanglement of this material world. So we are entangled in this material world, we have to detach. All right. And when we detach, that means, and to understand Lord Krishna as a supreme personality, and one who understands Krishna as supreme identity, what they will do the next thing, they will surrender unto him and engage in his devotional service. All right. And in chapter 16, Krishna did a comparison study about divine and demonic nature. What is the divine nature and what is demonic nature? So here we have discussed about the demonic nature. Okay, in a human being, we all have this kind of two possibilities. We have the divinity and the demoniac. All right, the demonic nature is inbuilt in every human being. All right, but in Kali Yuga, the one is very common is the demonic nature. That's why you see the eating meat, intoxication, gambling, all these are become so legalized, and illicit sex. All these are considered very common, very legal. All right, this thing. Okay, so now they also sell this kind of protective, the illicit sex protective things in all that supermarket, all these 7-Eleven and all these things. It just they put right in front of you, right? Because they make it illegal. You want to have illicit sex, make sure you don't impregnate the girl. So you have protection, right? So it's like that. Even the movies also, like those days they censor. Now it is no more censor already. It's very common. All right. And the skimpy dress and all these short dresses also becoming very common. Those days it's not allowed, but now it's very common. So it's becoming legalized, right? Then eating meat. So eating meat, and suddenly you go out there and just say that I'm a vegetarian. People look at you like an alien. "Huh? Vegetarian? Is it today? Are you praying? No, no, I'm a full-time vegetarian. Oh, really? Where do you get your protein from? So this kind of thing. So the demonic nature is very prevalent. So in this prevalent divine demonic nature, we try to unleash or awaken our divine nature. Okay. So now we understand. So demonic nature. So what I've suggested is to create a journal. Every day write down what you have done. So just see, do you have any demonic tendency in you? Try to rectify it through the understandings of Bhagavad Gita. Right. So then in chapter 17 this morning, we spoke about division of faith. In division of faith, we correspond to the evolving from the three modes of material nature. Right. Act performed by those who faith in the passion and ignorance yield impermanent. Okay. Material result, whereas act performed in goodness, according to the scripture injunction, purify the heart and lead to a pure faith to Lord Krishna in devotion to him. So here what we have, what are the takeaway that I, in fact, I'm inspired is, all these are, the nature is acquired. Okay, we studied that this morning, right? So the nature is acquired. It is not imparted. What does that mean? That means I come here, the nature is not that the thing is imparted on me. It is acquired by me through my knowledge and understanding. All right. So through my knowledge, I feel, oh, okay, I feel like saying, so I just want to go and do something. That means I am acquiring that nature. So once I start to acquire the nature, I get stuck in that. I get entangled in that nature, right? So that's the thing. So we understand. So acquiring, that means to acquire the nature is our own decision. But sometimes our mind and intelligence are so powerful, sometimes we cannot refrain from ourselves from not doing it. All right. The decision, we say, oh, this is my decision. Yes. But that decision, you made it helplessly. Helplessly, you make the decision. So in order to refrain that, we have to chant Hare Krishna daily to purify our mind. We have to read Bhagavad Gita daily to purify our intelligence. So by then, you can have the refrain. You can control yourself. All right. All right. Like today is Ekadasi, I feel like not eating rice. Feeling so hungry. Yes. All right. Because the example I give you is the prarabdha karma is, I have been born in this world and I came with a script. All right. In the script, and says that on 10th January 2025, Padita Tarna Jagannath Das will eat. All right. That's a script. So the script says, you wake up in the morning, you're going to do your prayer, then after that, you're going to eat. So eating is part of the script for the day. So it is my choice what I'm going to eat. All right. So what I did, I didn't take grains, but I take something fruits and all this. So the drama is there. That means I have to eat, but the choice what I want to eat is according to my decision. All right. So whether I want to eat rice and acquire sin, or do I want to eat what they call fruits and acquire sin, no sin. Right. But Krishna says whatever things that you eat without offering is also already a sin also. So what I do, I offer to Krishna and I take it as a prashadam. So we call this as a karma-free diet. Okay. So the thing is set that on this day I have to eat. So what we can understand also, sometimes in our astrological chart, in our jadagam, it says that okay, on this particular day, 7.5 has come in. The environment as a situation is like this. You know that the guru, the what guru planet? Mars is sitting this place, and Neptune is sitting there. So all these kind of things. So you have to go through trouble. Yes, the environment is trouble is there, but you have the choice how you're going to handle the environment. But when you practice spirituality, even that environment is such, you're already put into that stage to act that play, but the way that you're going to act is going to be very divine. Okay, so that's what we have understood so far. So today we're going to come to that perfection of renunciation, because Krishna was telling about renouncing from the day one. From the chapter 3, he says, Tyaga. He says, just do your job, don't expect any result. What is that? That's renunciation. Then after that, he says, your whatever result you get, you offer to me. So like that. So now is the thing 18. He's going to tell you what is that perfect of renunciation. All right. So with that meditation, let's start our class. Okay. So ISKCON Malaysia, in collaboration with ISKCON Ipoh Bhakti Yoga Center, proudly presents Gita Gyan, the essence of Bhagavad Gita. So today we're going to discuss the final chapter, chapter 18. Let's take darshan from Sri Sri Nitai Gauranga. Sri Sri Radha Madhava. So today we dedicate this program to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. We are so grateful to him. Because of his mercy, today we could able to speak and study Bhagavad Gita in English language. And this program is inspired by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, GBC and Spiritual Master. And I also dedicate this program to my very most beloved God brother, His Grace Anadi Jagannath Prabhu of Bangalore ISKCON Sheshadipuram, created a brainchild of the essence of Gita Gyan program worldwide. So let's look at understanding the Gita. The forgetful living entities, okay, the forgetful living entities is the one they call as conditioned souls. All right. So now we understand this. So what is conditioned soul means? The forgetful living entity. Okay. The forgetful living entities or conditioned soul have forgotten their relationship. They have what they have forgotten? They have forgotten their relationship with the Supreme Lord. Can you imagine? You are son of a king or you are related to the king, but you forgot that relationship. Can you imagine? That's when you start to suffer miserably, right? But if you know that if you can revive back your relationship with the king, and imagine you are part of the royal family, you are treated very differently. But the problem is we have forgotten. So now we have forgotten that we got a relationship with not with an ordinary person, but with a supreme personality. All right. And after they've forgotten what they do, and they engrossed in thinking of material activities. Okay. They are engrossed. That means engrossed means they are deeply thinking of material activity. Just to transfer their thinking power, that means Krishna Prabhupada says just to transfer their thinking power to the spiritual sky. So what happened? Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa or Vyasadev have given great number of Vedic literature. First, he divided the Vedas into 4. Okay. Then he explained them in the Puranas. Okay. First, he divided the Vedas into 4. Then after that, he explained them in Puranas. For less capable person, okay. Then for the less capable people, all right, people who have not much intelligent, all right, all these things. So what happened? He wrote the Mahabharata. So Mahabharata was written for people who are less capable, who cannot understand the spirit of what they call the Vedas. Okay. So then what he did? After he wrote that, then he wrote the Mahabharata for incapable. That means for a person who are considered like Vaishya, the business people, Shudra, the labor class, and women. For women and for less intelligent. Okay, now the question is why women? Because you see, in those days, women have no other job but to engage full time taking care of the family, right? The women are such a sacred people who protect, who bring up the children. They are so engaged engaged in. So they have no time to sit and study Vedas, right? So, and when you look at Vaishya, the business people, they are so engrossed in making money. They have no time to go to the Padasale and start to study Sastra, right? So like that. So we understand. So that's for them, the Bhagavad Gita was written. And this, this Mahabharata was written. And the idea about this Mahabharata is just like a story. That means while listening to the story, you know, in ancient time, there was a two great family and the Bhishma. Then after that, he take a vow not to accept the kingdom. Then through his father's second wife, he had three brothers. And the three brothers, elder fleur is Dhritarashtra, second is Pandu, third is Vidura. All right. The elder fleur is blind, so he cannot take the kingdom. The second fleur is sickly, Pandu is sickly, so he accept the kingdom. After that, he died prematurely. Then he died young. Then after that, the third fleur, Vidura, he's not qualified to what they call to run the kingdom, so he's not capable. So temporarily the kingdom was given to the elder brother Dhritarashtra. So while he's keeping the kingdom, he's a caretaker king. Once the sons of Pandu grew up, you have to pass the kingdom over, but he cheated them. He gave the kingdom, usurped the kingdom and gave it to his children. And because of that, They come back, they ask for the kingdom, they refuse to give. Then after that, they had all the dealings, they still nothing. End of the day, war is declared. So it's just like a story. Oh, read, oh yeah, war was declared. Then Mahabharat war was there. So in that war, then the both side, they have no choice because as a Kshatriya, you first of peace negotiation, nothing works. Second, the only alternative is war, right? So they have created war. And where they created the war, they created the war in Kurukshetra. Why Kurukshetra? Whoever dies there, they go to heaven. If they win, they earn the kingdom. So win-win situation, right? So in that Mahabharat were reading, and suddenly in between, they inserted Bhagavad Gita. Say, can you see how Vyasadeva technically slit Bhagavad Gita into Mahabharat? So while you're reading Bhagavad Gita, while reading Mahabharat, you stumble upon Bhagavad Gita. You know, say, wow. So Bhagavad Gita is inside the Mahabharata. Then that's when they start to understand all this confidential part, right? Then in all Vedic literature, okay, then after that, what happened? All the Vedic literature is summarized. Summarized in where? In Vedanta Sutra. All right. All the four, what they call Purana Vedas, and along with the Puranas and everything is summarized. Summarized in Vedanta Sutra. So for future guidance, he gave natural commentation on the Vedanta. Okay, then he summarized the entire four Vedas because the Vedas are so huge. He summarized in Vedanta Sutra. Then after that, he understood for future, people still can't distinguish. So for future guidance, he gave a natural commentation, right, on the Vedanta Sutra. So what he did, he composed the Vedanta Sutra, which is summary. Then after that, he comment on that. Okay, like example, like when you look at Bhagavad Gita, you see the purport. The purport is Prabhupada's comment. So he gave the comment. And what is that comment is called? It's called Srimad Bhagavatam. All right. So we must always engage our mind reading these Vedic literatures, just as materialists engage their mind reading newspapers, right? Magazine and so many materialistic literature. So the materialistic people are reading all this to keep them abreast, right? They read newspaper to keep them updated with what's happening around the world. Like that, we have to engage our mind in reading the Vedic literature because we want to know what is going to happen. And this Vedic literature reading must be on a daily basis, right? So we must transfer our reading from this literature that given by Vyasadeva. In this way, we will be it will be possible for us to remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead at the time of death. This is the only way suggested by the Lord. This is the only way that's suggested by the Lord. And after that, what he did, he guarantees the result. Okay, he guarantees the result, and there's no doubt about it. Okay, so with that meditation, let's start our session. So before that, let's look at the Gita Mahatmya, the last Gita Mahatmya. Jayate satatang sakhyam sarva jiva ganaisaha prarabdam bunjato vapi Gita vyasa ratasya cha. So prarabdam means what? All that karma that has been prepared for you to suffer in this material birth. All right, the karma that has been created in few births before, in many births. All right, they call prarabdha karma. So what Krishna says here, a person who devoted to studying the Gita, all right, when the person is devoted, okay, when you concentrate and you devote yourself in studying the Gita, what happens? He acquires a friendly disposition to all living beings. He somehow or other create a very friendly disposition to all living beings, despite his accruing reaction of his previous action in this world. Despite all this prarabdha karma, all these activity that you have done in this thing, in this previous life, or whatever, or this thing. So despite all these nasty things that you have done, you start to create a friendly disposition because Bhagavad Gita purifies the mind. Intelligent. Once the intelligence is purified, the person will become more sober, more, what they call, more loving, right? Okay. Chapter 18, the title is Conclusion, the Perfection of Renunciation. Let's look at 18.1. Arjuna Vacha Sanyasasya Mahabaho Tattvang Ichchami Veditum Tyagasya Cha Hrishikesha Pratakkeshi Nishudana. So now Arjuna is asking question. He said, oh, mighty armed one, right? I wish to understand the purpose of renunciation. Sannyasa Mahabaho. So what is the purpose of renunciation? Why a person should renounce? Okay. And of the renounce order. First, he asked about renunciation, number one. Then second, he asked about renounce order. Okay. I hope you all can understand what I'm saying. Eh? All right. First is, he's asking about renunciation. Okay, first question is renunciation. Then the second question is asking about the renounced order of life. Okay, I just put 1 and 2. First is renunciation. Second is renounced order of life. Or killer of Keshi demon, master of the senses. So what we understand from here? First, he asked about renunciation. There's simply renunciation we call tyaga. Tyagasya. Okay, tyaga. Tyaga in Tamil we call tyagam. Tyagam pandrathu, right? Tyagam, renunciation. But after that, we take it into tyaga into our life. Make it a lifestyle. We call renounced order. So once we accept renounced order, that means it's called sannyasam. Sannyasam means be a sannyasi or monk. Okay. So do remember this. Tyaga means renunciation. Sannyasam means renounced order. Okay. So you ask these two wonderful questions. And after that, 18.2, Krishna start to explain. Sri Bhagavan Vacha, Kamyanang Karmanang Nyasam, Sanyasam Kavayo Viduhu, Sarva Karma Palatyagam, Prahustyagam Vichakshana. So now what Krishna says here, right? He says, the Supreme Person got it said. Okay, let me get the highlighter. He said, giving up of activities. Giving up activities that are based on material desire. Okay, what the great learned men call as renounced order or sannyas. You understand? Right? So what is renounced order? That means giving up activities that based on material desire. That means I got the desire, I work on materialistic way of life. So giving up that desire, we call renounced order of life. Okay. But, and at the same time, giving up the result of all activities, all right, giving up the result of all activities, what the wise call is renunciation or called tyaga. Okay, we must understand this very nicely. All right, everyone understand? If you understand, you can just put a thumbs up so I know. Do you all follow me? If you don't understand, please tell me, I can repeat again.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Repeat again, Prabhu.
Okay, now, giving up activities based on material desire. Okay, Kesavan? That means I got a material desire. That means I'm working, I'm maintaining my family, I'm earning my this thing. Giving up that activity, we call sannyasam. You got it?
Yes, Prabhu.
So sannyasam. So what sannyasi do? Sannyasi renounce everything. They stop everything. They wear the saffron cloth and stay in the temple. All right. That means they are out of this material activity. Okay. All right. But after that, what the second one is Krishna says, giving up the result of all activity. What does that mean? That means you are involved in this material activity. You are still going to work. You're still doing your job. You are still maintaining your family and all this. That means you are acting in this material activity, but you are giving up the result. So you don't take the result to your heart, right? So that means I'm married. Okay, I've got my wife, I got my children. I'm bringing them up, but I don't expect. That means the result of their growing up, whatever activity, I just give up for Krishna. Okay, giving up the result of all activities we call tyagam, renunciation, tyaga. You got it?
Yes, Prabhu.
You understand? Eh? How about others?
Yes.
In Tamil also we use the word tyagam, right? Okay, now I got some extra sabji. So suddenly I was just about to eat. Suddenly I see one devotee coming into the temple. And I start to see, oh, there's no food. There's no prasadam available. So what I will do, I'll immediately take my plate and just go to the devotee and says, I just prepared some prasadam for you. Right? But of course, I took the prasadam for my own self. Right? I just put all the thing. When I was just about to eat, suddenly I see one devotee coming in. So what I do, I say, Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yes, please welcome. I know that you're going to come today, so I prepared. I've got some prasadam for you and give it. Then he asks you, have you taken it? I've taken. I just thought. I prepared. If any devotee come, just for them. So I'm giving up the result. That means I'm giving up the food. The giving up the prasadam that I supposed to take. I'm giving it up. We call tyagam. You got it? But at the same time, I take sannyasam. Okay, and I say, okay, I'm not going to eat. Okay, I am just going to eat one meal a day, and that one meal is only one handful of rice, example. All right, why I need to eat that one handful of rice? Just to keep me alive. So even though prasadam, no, I'm not going to take it. So that is called sannyasa. I hope you all understand. Thumbs up. Okay. Great. Okay. Now you understand this. Okay, good. All right. Now let's look at 18.5. Then after that, Krishna continues. 18.5, Krishna continues. Yagna dana tapa karma natyajam karyam evatat. Yagno danang tapaschaiva pavanani manishinam. Okay. So yagna means sacrifice. Dana means what? Donation, right? Charity. Tapaha means it is penance. Karma means activity. Then tyajam means to be given up. Na means no. Tyajam means given up. So not giving up. Then karyam must be done. Karyam. Karyathila kanna irukano. Karyam must be done. Okay. Then yagna, sacrifice. Danam, charity. Tapas, it is penance. Okay, penance. Chaiva, also certainly. Pavanani. So pavanani means what? Pavanani means purifying. So pavanani, that is sin which is getting purified. Pavanani means purifying. Then what is it? Manishinam. Manishinam means great souls. All right. So now what Krishna says here, act of sacrifice, charity, and penance are not to be given up. Okay, that means the sacrifice is, you are, like today you are sacrificing by fasting. Eh? So, and Kali Yuga Dharma is sacrifice of chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Then charity, you are performing charity. So you are going around the house and imparting Bhagavad Gita. You're installing Bhagavad Gita, or you're helping in distributing books and helping in the temple. So charity. The penance, like for instance, today is Bhagavad Gita, Ekadasi, you're fasting. So it's a penance. So these three things Krishna says not to be given up. Don't give up. Okay. They has to be performed. And indeed, these sacrifice, charity, and penance purify even a great soul. So that means this act, it's not only for us, but this act is also purify even a great souls. Okay. So now, when you look at renunciation, all right, and the goodness, passion, ignorance, all right, the verse is 7 and 9. So renunciation in the mode of goodness, what is supposed to do? Performing prescribed duty because it is ought to be done. Again, let me tell you, performing prescribed duty. The duty that is given to you, that's a prescription, it has to be done. Then, secondly, renouncing all material association and all attachment to the fruit. That means renouncing all material association. You do your job. Whatever benefit you're going to get, you just renounce it. It is in goodness. The one in passion, giving up prescribed duty. Okay, I supposed to do this my duty, but I give up because it's so troublesome and out of fear of bodily discomfort, right? So like, for instance, like, I believe as what my Guru Maharaj told me, prescribed duty is to talk and to distribute books, right? Sometimes I feel like, sometimes in the morning, it clashes with my other time, So sometimes I just think, should I no, now we are finishing a chapter, batch 5. Now we're going to start the marathon, which is going to be every day. And I was just thinking, oh my God, every day, if I'm going to do, what's going to happen to my personal life? No life. So I was just thinking, but I know this is my duty I have to perform because that was the instruction of my spiritual master. But if I don't do it, giving up the prescribed duty because it's so troublesome, okay lah, later lah, so troublesome, So out of your deceit, that is the renunciation mode of passion. Okay, I'm just giving an example. So what is renunciation in ignorance? Giving up prescribed duty due to illusion. So just giving up the job, okay, just I feel like, okay, every day I have to wake up early, I have to wake up early and do my prayers, do my chanting, then send my children to school, come back, I have to start my class. Why not? Just sleep, already I don't have enough sleep, I'm suffering from less of sleep. Okay, no need class, I just better go to sleep. This is in ignorance. Okay, I'm giving an example. All right. Now, 18:12. What Krishna says, Anistam, Anishtam istang mishrang cha, Trividang karmana palang, Bhavatya ya ginam pretya natu sanyashinam pachit. So what Krishna says, Anishtam. What is Anishtam means? Okay, let me just create a highlight. Anishtam means what? Anishtam means leading to hell. Ishtam. Anishtam means leading to hell. Ishtam means leading to heaven. So see, there's an A in front. So Ishtam means going to heaven. But Anishtam, when you put A, means going to hell. Okay. Then Mishram. Mishram means what? Mishram means mixed. Okay. Mishram. Three Vidam. Three means what? We have to understand. Three means three. I mean, tree means number three. Okay. Three types. Vidam. That means three kinds. Moonu Vidangal. In Tamil, we used to say Moonu Vidangal. That means three kinds. Moonu Vidamana ide. So what is Moonu Vidamanadu? Karmana. Karma. Karma means what? Activity or work. And palam means the fruit. Karma palan. Moonu vidamana karma palan. Moonu vidamana karma palan. So three vida karmana palam. The three types of activity fruits. So fruits of activity. All right. Then bhavati means comes. Okay. Atyaginam. Atyaginam means what? Atyaginam means for those who are not renounced. Pretya. Pretya means after death. Okay. And Sanyasinam. Natu Sanyasina. Sannyasi means to the renounced order, fetch it at any time. Okay. Now let's look at that word to word translation. So one who is not renounced, Krishna says one who is not renounced. Okay. Right. That means what? Whatever you do, he enjoy. You don't think about tyagam. You don't think about offering all this kind of charity and all this. So he earns his money. He's just mind his own business. It's quite typical, right? I make my own money and I just maintain my own family and I just live a typical life. All right. I just don't care about anything else. I don't go into anybody's problem. So these are the people who are not renounced. So what happened? The threefold fruits of action. The threefold fruit of action. The three types of benefit of that activity. That is desirable, undesirable, and mixed. Accrue after death. Accrue after death means what? It follows after death. That's very scary. Right? So that means desirable, something that you desire, something that you don't desire, and mixed of these two, all right, will accrue, will follow after death. That means these are the activity will follow after death. So that means you desire to go to heaven or you desire to go to hell. All these desire and desirable things will simply follow you. All right. So anistam, ishtam, hell, heaven, or mix. Either hell, heaven, mix. All right. Will follow three vidam karmana palam. So these kind of three things. These three kinds, that means anistam, ishtam, mishram. The three kind of thing will follow you. Okay. Atyagina pretya. Pretya means death. After death, he will follow you after death. All right. But those who are in renounced order of life, that means, but those who are in that renounced order of life have no such result. They don't have such result to suffer or enjoy. Okay. So I'm going. So if you have any question, please ask me. Yeah. Right. Now, let's look at 5 causes of action. What are the 5 causes of action that's mentioned in 13 to 14? All right. Panchaitani mahabaho karanani nibodame sankhe kritanti proktani siddhaye sarva karmanam adhisthanam tata karta karanam cha pratak vidam vividas cha pratak chesta Daivam Chaivatra Panchamam. So Panchaitani Mahabaho. So Pancha means 5. Pancha Bhudangal. Pancha means 5. Mahabaho, that means the supreme one. Karanani. Karanani means Karanangal. Karana means cause. Niboda. Niboda means just understand. Understand this. Right? Me means Krishna says from me. Okay. Then Sankhe. Sankhe means in the Vedanta, Kritta Ante. Kritta Ante means what? Kritta Ante. So Krittante. What does it mean? In the conclusion of what? Proktani. Say Siddhaye. Siddhaye means, of course, we have spoke about this many times in our previous chapter. Siddhaya means the perfected ones, the perfection. Sarva, all. Karmana means activity. Right? Then Adhisthanam. Adhisthanam means Andasthanam. Okay, that means, in other words, the place. Tata means also Karta. Karta means worker. Okay, Karta means worker. Karanam. Karanam means instrument. Okay, Pratak Vidam. Pratak Vidam of different kinds. Vividha. Vividha means various. Pratak means separate. Chesta, endeavor. Chesta means endeavor. Daivam. Daivam means the supreme. Okay. And Panchamam is the fifth. Okay. Now let's look at this. What Krishna says in this verse. O mighty armed Arjuna, according to the Vedanta, there are 5 causes for the accomplishment in all action. Okay. That means what? According to the Vedanta. Okay. There's a Panchaitani Mahabhava. That means there's a 5 kinds of causes accomplished in all action. That means achieve in every action. We achieve 5 types of result. Now learn this from me. So number 1, the place of action. The place of action is the body, the performer, the various senses, the many different kinds of endeavor, and ultimately the super soul. These are the 5 factors of action. Okay. So we have studied this before. First is Kshetra. So the place of action, how, when I want to do something, right? When I want to do something, first I have to do through my body. If I want to sit here and talk about Bhagavad Gita, I want to study Bhagavad Gita, I have to do through my body. All right, I need to have this place. Okay, where I cannot simply like this. So that means the body is the place of action. And who is the performer? I am the performer. I as the spirit, so I am the performer. And how I perform? Using my various senses. 5, the body is made of 5. What are the 5 senses? 5 senses, 5 working senses, and 5 knowledge acquiring senses. Okay, my eyes are looking at the computer. My ears are listening to what I'm saying and listening to what you're saying, and this. So then knowledge acquiring senses. My eyes understood the word SCNSES. The word my eye understand VARIOUS. So it's a different alphabet combined. When the things combine, it forms a word. So my eyes understand that combination, right? Because V is different, A is different, R is different, I is different, O is different, U is different, S is different. But when you combine, we call it as various. So my eyes, that means my eyes and the object, the sense and the object is there. Then after that, I'm talking to you. How am I talking to you? I'm using my working senses, my voice. So my working senses is in action. So like that. So that means through the various senses, the performing. Okay. There are many different kinds of endeavor. So in order to perform that, there is so many different kinds of endeavor. All right. First thing is I have to set up the computer. I have to make sure the electricity is there, make sure the internet is there. All right. And make sure I get that, what they call the slide out. Make sure that I click into the right Zoom link. I create the link. Then after that, I need to sit here. I need to make sure my chair is comfortable. You know, I make sure that my water bottle is, hey, where's my water bottle? Oh, I see. Okay. Make sure that my water bottle is with me. And so there's so many endeavors. I'm just giving an example. All right. Then after that, ultimately, all these things happen by the desire, by the approval of the super soul in the heart. Because we understand, right? What Krishna says, the super soul is the permitter. Even you want to fall into this material condition, the super soul approves it. But once you turn back and look at the super soul, my dear super soul, I surrender to you, the super soul will catch you and say, take you back home, back to God. So the ultimate super. So these are the 5 factors of action. Okay. You all understand this? Any questions? If you understand, please put a thumbs up. If not, please ask me a question. Okay. How about others? Krishna Rubini, are you there? Okay. Right. Okay. That's one person. Understand? So I just assume, just like when you want to check the rice, you just take 1 grain and press. The rice is cooked. I believe. Okay. Okay. I believe everything is cooked. So when Kesavan raised his hand, I understood that. I assume everyone understood. Okay. Now, let's look at these 5 causes of action. Okay. Number 1. Okay. So first is the action is happen in the body. And it happens in the body through various senses. Okay. And how we do the various senses by different kind of endeavor. There's so many endeavors to set up the place. And the performer, I as the performer. And all this is possible when the super soul, the ultimate control. When the super soul, the ultimate performer, ultimate approval, he gives, everything is easy. So once the super soul don't permit, nothing will work. All right. Right. So now let's look at 18:18. So in 18:18, Krishna says, Jnanam Jneyam Parijnata. Trivida Karma Chodana. Karanam Karma Karteti. Trivida Karma Sangraha. Beautiful. Jnanam. Jnanam means what? Okay, we all understand. Jnanam means knowledge. All right. Jnayam. Jnana means knowledge. Jnaya means the objective of the knowledge. Okay, you all. Okay, you all. I hope you all are following me. If not, please ask me a question or raise your hand. So jnana means knowledge. Jnaya means the object of the knowledge. What are you going to do? Okay, now I want to capture. I want to read Bhagavad Gita. I want to get the jnanam. So what is the jnanam? That means what is the jnanam in the jnanam is to understand Krishna. Okay, jnanam, jnayam. All right, understanding Krishna. Parijnata. Parijnata means the knower. Three vida. Again, just now we used to say three vidam. Okay. Three vida means three kinds. Karma chodana. Karma means work, activity. Chodana means impetus. Karanam, the senses. Karma, the work. Karteti, karta iti. Karta means karta, karya. Karta means the doer. Iti means this. Three vida. Three types, three kind. Karma sangraha. So, three types of things, karma that we accumulate. Now, let's look at this verse. Knowledge, the object of knowledge, jnanam, jnayam, and the knower, parijnata, are the three factors that motivate action. Okay? The senses, the work, and the doer are the three constituents of action. Okay, now let's look at this. Let's go into these studies. So, first is we talk about knowledge. The knowledge. So now I want to acquire knowledge. So what is that object of that knowledge? Example, I want to be a doctor. So what is that? Okay, I want to acquire the knowledge of medicine. For what? What is the objective of that knowledge so that I can become a doctor in the future? Okay, so the knowledge and the object of the knowledge. And the third thing is the knower. Okay, first I want to get knowledge and I want to get the object of knowledge. And what I need to do, I need to go to the person who knows this knowledge. So these three things are called motivate action. Okay. Example, like now you want to have the knowledge. All right. You have the object of the knowledge. You want to know Krishna. And now you're coming to me, coming to the class to listen to this. So this is the three things that motivate action. All right. Then after that, the senses, that means all your five senses, working senses, knowledge acquiring senses, and this thing, the work and the doer are the three constituents of the action. That means first you're going to do this, you're going to acquire this knowledge through the senses, right? Your eyes, your this thing. And how? By working, that means you have to go and get the job done. And of course, and you are the doer. So these are the three constituents of action. So first is motivation action and the way that you perform the action. All right, now let's look at this verse. 18, 20 to 22. So what is the knowledge in goodness? So one knowledge in goodness is one undivided spiritual nature is seen in all living entity. So when you start to see that undivided living spiritual nature, that means you start to see Paramatma in every living entity. All right, by disregarding all of them, it is called you have the knowledge in the mode of goodness. Right? And knowledge of passion is in every different body, there's different types of living entity. So like this guy, when you see, oh, I cannot kill human because human is different. But chicken, I can kill, a goat, I can kill, cow, I can kill because they got a different type of body or different kind of living entity. So they see this, the separation. So that is the knowledge in the mode of passion. But in the mode of ignorance, what does it mean? One attached to one kind of work as all in all. So that means he just attached to one work and he thinks this work is everything. Okay. And he doesn't want to acquire knowledge without knowledge of the truth and which is very meager. Right? He not bother to go further and to acquire further knowledge. This is the whatever knowledge he has is the knowledge in the mode of ignorance. All right. Now let's look at karma. Karma means activity. That means verse 23 to 25. What is the karma in goodness? The karma is regulated. That means you have regulation. You're not a random person. That means you have a regulation. Perform without attachment. You do your job without expecting anything and not attached. And without love or hatred. Even though the thing is going to be fantastic, you love the thing, or it's going to be so terrible, you're going to hate it. No, without love and hatred. At the same time, without desire for fruitive result. Okay, without expecting any fruitive result. So where are you going to perform this? You're going to perform this, say like for instance, in the temple, you come to temple, want to perform devotional service. Right? Say like for instance, I love to do this certain service and I hate to do certain service. Right? When suddenly the devotee tell you, Prabhu, the bathroom is not clean. Can you go and wash it? When you go and clean, say, you ask me to clean the bathroom? I don't even clean my own house bathroom. Right? But after that, they say, oh, Prabhu, there's a place, the prasadam is ready. Can you go and serve? Oh, I love to serve prasadam. All right, because I can see everybody. So that means it is not. So that means you don't have love and hatred. And after, without desire for fruitive results. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the seva so that the president is going to call me up and put a garland on me and put a talapa on my head and going to praises. We don't expect any of these results. We just simply perform our duty. That is karma in the goodness. But what is karma in passion? Perform with great effort by one seeking to gratify his desire. Okay, this you must understand. See, when you perform something with great effort, that means you work so hard to achieve that, just to satisfy my desire. All right. And this is enacted from sense of false ego. Say sometimes when you see this, some kind of MLM company or insurance, any sales company, they will push you. They work so hard. They make hundreds of calls just to get one appointment. With so much of great effort, you work so hard and meet that person, some or other, talk to the person and get the deal done, just to satisfy senses. So what we understand in this here, I want all of you to remember this. All right. And of course, as all of you are elder in the society, all of you are retired, mostly of you, I think most of you are there, retired. Only there's one young girl here. What is his name? Krishna Rubini and K7 is the young person here. Other than that, every one of you are more into a retired life. So always remember this one thing when you're going to advise the young people. Anything that's supposed to be yours will come to you easy. Krishna Rubini and K7, I want you to remember this by heart. Anything that's supposed to be yours will come to you easy. Anything that's not supposed to be yours, you have to work so hard for it. All right? Like, for instance, I've seen my own cousin sister who so badly wanted to become a doctor, right? Wanted to become doctor. Oh, worked so hard day and night. Oh, and she's sort of what they call not so bright, but she got a strong desire. And she went to one college, she didn't qualify, then she did the O levels, A level, then she went to one particular college. Then after that, I heard that college, I think she didn't make it well. Then she went to another college in Delhi. And some or other, it took her 10 years to graduate, 10 years to finish a medical degree. Can you imagine? Because a strong desire. And everybody start to say, oh, this is what it called never give up attitude. Then after that, she became a doctor, then everything. But after being a doctor, she suffered. She suffers so terribly, And today she's 55 and she have taken optional retirement. She says she can't do further. She's like, feel like going crazy. She actually resigned, optional retirement. I think optional retirement or resign. What happened? How long can she perform? 10, 15, 20 years she's tried to do. But end of the day, she realized she can't. So always remember this, all right? Always remember when you want to advise your children, your grandchildren, or anyone younger to you, and you like Krishna Rubini and K7, and you want to practice something, remember this by heart. The thing that's supposed to be yours will come to you easy. When the thing that's supposed not to be yours, you have to work so hard. When you need to struggle to do something, that is not supposed to be yours, and you're going to suffer. So that's the thing in mode of passion. Okay, you can get the reference in 18:23 to 25. You can read that. Perform with great effort by one seeking to gratify his desire. And this is enacted from the sense of false ego. I want to be successful. I want to be this, all right? So what is the karma in ignorance? Activity in ignorance. Perform in illusion. You don't know what you're doing. Just simply do. In disregard of scriptural injunction. I mean, this is not following the injunction of the scripture, right? So the Krishna says you did it, but you don't follow that. Without concern of future bondage, you just can't be bothered what's going to happen in the future. Just do it. Without a concern of violence or distress caused to others, you don't care whether your activity going to create you're going to like torture others or going to create violence or make other people distressed. They just can't bother. So that's a activity in ignorance. Okay, like terrorism and all this, they just can't be bothered. All right, because perform in illusion. They think if I go and terrorize the place, I go to heaven and I got 72 virgins awaiting for me. Illusion. And they don't follow the scriptural injunction. All right, without concern of future bondage, they just don't care what's going to happen in the future. My job is to go and destroy the place. Then after that, it concerns so much of violence and distress to others. He can't be bothered. When a person dies, how many of them are lose the person? The father lose the son, the mother lose the son, The wife loses the husband, right? The friend loses a friend, and the country loses a citizen. There's so much of loss. They just not bothered. That is activity in ignorance. And now worker, karta, karya karta, all right, worker. So what is the worker in the goodness, passion, and ignorance? 26 to 28, Krishna explained. Goodness means perform his duty without association with the modes of material nature and without false ego. That means he perform his duty without association with the modes of material nature. So that is especially in devotional service. That means he perform his duty that means he perform the duty without being in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. He just this thing. And without false ego. That means he do the job not expecting some kind of good result. Right? Oh, I'm doing this such a nice decoration. So the whole devotee will come and say, who did the decoration? Padita Tarana. Oh, Padita Tarana, you're great. Without all this kind of false ego. Perform your duty, right? With great determination and enthusiasm. So when you don't expect any of these things, no false ego, no this thing, you perform your duty with great determination and enthusiasm, because I know I'm doing this for Krishna and I'm doing it with all my heart, right? Because I know because Krishna already promised me that he's going to give, but anyway, it doesn't matter. All right, whether he wants to take me to heaven, even like I just can't be bothered what Krishna is going to give me at the end of the day. All right, but my job is to do this because I feel so much of satisfaction doing it. So with that, we do with so much of great determination and enthusiasm. All right, without wavering in success or failure, without expecting whether my effort going to be success or failure. Like for instance, 30 people sign up for this course, but now we have 7 here. But of course, sometimes we have 2 or 3, but it doesn't affect. All right, I just say even one person is there is considered successful, right? So that's I just like not wavering. Oh, why there's no people? Of course that day I was sick, and because I was also not well, right? I was just having a severe headache, and nobody turned up for the chapter 13. So I just took it. Maybe this is the blessings of Krishna. Then after that, I continued doing that chapter. So without wavering, okay. And what is the workers in passion? Attached to work and fruit of work. That means I do this job. And I want to expect, okay, I want all of you to praise me. All right. You praise me. Oh, Padita Tarna, your class is fantastic, world class, world standard, desiring to enjoy those fruit. All right. So I want expecting all this. That is passion. And secondly, who is greedy? All right. Envious, impure, and moved by joy and sorrow. So when someone praise me, I'm very excited. When someone say, Padita Tarna, your class is total nonsense. Oh, how you could tell like that? Phew, I become into sorrow. I'm just giving an example. So, like that. So, this is the mode of passion. And what is the mode of ignorance? Work against the injunction of scripture. That means they don't follow the scripture. They are very materialistic, obstinate, cheating, and expert in insulting others. They cheat and expert. That means when you start to insult, like bully others, oh, that flow insulting. So, these are the people workers in ignorance. When they start to see someone not doing well, they insult them so terribly. They kill their morale. All right. So that means they also are lazy, always morose and procrastinating. Do something, tomorrow, tomorrow. So all these are workers in ignorance. And what is happiness? Happiness in goodness is, which is the beginning maybe just like poison. All right. But the end just like nectar. Like what Kesav was telling, he struggled to fast on Ekadasi day. Okay. He struggled to fast on Ekadasi day. He tried, but couldn't. But he said, okay, when he's first starting like that, it's always like that. First, it feels like it's poison. It's like so tough. But at the end, it's like nectar. All right. So these are the happiness in mode of goodness, also which awakens one to self-realization. All right. It will awaken you into self-realization. So now, what is in mode of passion, which is derived from contact with sense and sense object? That means what I want to see. That means I want to see beautiful things, sense and the object of the senses. So there's a relationship, right? I want to feel, I want to touch one Mercedes Benz. I want to see in that. So that's a passion. Oh, I'm happy. I'm having a beautiful house. I'm lying on a beautiful bed and I got a beautiful this. No, I'm so happy. Not like that. That's passion, right? Which appears like nectar. At first, it looks so good, but at the end of the day, it's like a poison. All right. I think some of you have heard this, like what happened in my personal life. When I bought my Mercedes Benz, I was in the cloud 9. I was like floating in the air. But after my business started to dwindle, when I wanted to pay my installment, then the worst thing when I sent for service, Alama, service 3,000. Oh my God, what for the service? Can any discount? So when I sold the car, I sold with big loss. I have to top up some big money just to discard the car. So at first, Initially, it looked so nice, but end of the day, it gave me so much of suffering, right? But Krishna helped me actually, Krishna saved me because after the person who bought the car, because I really used the car maximum, 100 or 1,000 kilometers in exactly 1 year. Can you imagine the way I used that car? But the person who bought the car from me, 3 months later, suddenly something happened, the engine burnt. So he has to change his entire engine. Of course, the second-hand dealer, I bought the car, but he called me and said, hey, engine sura bakala, ayyo, manya soi la, manya soi. But imagine if that thing happened to me. Already I'm broke. I can't even repair. I can't even service the car. Right? But if that thing happened, that's why Krishna saved me, right? So I'm losing. But that's why it appears like a nectar at the first, but end of the day is like poison. That's passion. Happiness in ignorance, but with bind to self-realization. It blind, right? That means you're always hallucinating. Oh, my self-happiness is when I'm intoxicated, when I take drugs, when I'm alcohol, when I'm high, when I'm this thing, I'm happy. All right? It's blind, which is delusion from the beginning to the end. That means from the beginning to the end, you are already high, right? Which arises from sleep, laziness, and illusion. This is happiness in mode of ignorance. All right. So now we have already finished the first part. Now we're going to go to the second part. So now before we go to the second part, it's already 8:43. Shall we just take a short break? Okay. We take, now it's 8:43. Just take 2 or 3 minutes break. Just get up, stretch yourself, right? Because after my, what do you call? Okay. So we continue in part 2 of chapter 18. Okay. Now let's look at this understanding of the Gita here. We work not with our body actually, but with our mind and intelligence. Yes or not? Our body is only an instrument, but the one that makes sure that our body works is our mind and intelligence. So if the intelligence and the mind are always engaged in the thought of the Supreme Lord, then naturally the senses are also engaged in his service. All right? When our mind and intelligence, that's why I said when you're going to chant Hare Krishna daily, when you're going to read Bhagavad Gita daily, that means you're engaging your mind and intelligence. So like that, naturally all your senses will follow. Okay. Superficially, at least the activity of these senses remain the same, but the consciousness is changed, right? So now, even the activity seems to be same. That means you still go to work and do your job, whatever it is, you're just sitting and you're just going and living your normal life. But now your consciousness has changed because you're always dedicating everything to Krishna. So the Bhagavad Gita teaches one how to absorb the mind and the intelligence in the thought of the Lord. Such absorption will enable one to transfer himself to the kingdom of the Lord. That means by that absorption, we can just get ourselves transferred to the kingdom of Krishna. If the mind is engaged in Krishna service, then the senses are automatically engaged in his service. Can you see? When the mind is engaged, the senses automatically will engage. In this art, this is the art, and this is also the secret of Bhagavad Gita. Total absorption in the thought of Sri Krishna. Purification through prescribed duty of Varnashram. All right, now let's look at 41 to 44. Okay, so what is the natural quality and under the modes? Say the Brahmanas. The Brahmanas means, again, as I said previously, these Brahmanas is not by birth, but by qualification, right? A person can be born in any kind of background. He can be born into a very high caste family, or he can even born in a very low caste family. Even he can be born in outcast. It doesn't matter. Once he have already created, created his, what they call, he purifies himself. Okay, he can be upgraded. That means he can be, he is also known as Brahmana, not by birth, but by qualification. So what is the qualities of Brahmana? Peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, knowledge, wisdom, and religiousness. So these are basically in the mode of goodness. And how about Kshatriya, the warriors? Heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity, and leadership. So they are mostly in the mode of passion. Vaishya, the business people. So what they do, their natural quality is farming, cow protection, and doing business. So what is their natural tendency is mode of passion and ignorance. And Shudra, labor and service to others, They are basically in the mode of ignorance. In 1848. Okay, 1848. Sahajang karma kaunteya sa dosham apina tyajet sarvarambha doshena dumenatnir ivavrta. So what we see here, sahajam. Sahajam means born simultaneously. Karma, work, kaunteya. Okay, sa dosham. Sa dosham means with fault. All right. Api means although. Na is never. Tyajit. Tyajit means one should give up. Sarva Ramba. Sarva Ramba means what? All ventures. Okay. Dume Natnir. Dume means you smoke. Agni means fire. And it's covered. Ivavrita means covered. So now we understand here. Krishna is giving assurance. Every endeavor is covered by some fault. We must remember this. In every endeavor that we do, there will be some fault because we are living in this material world. In this material world, what do you expect? It's a faulty place. How can you be perfect? So every endeavor is covered by some fault. Okay, you all follow me? Just like the fire is covered by smoke. The fire is pure, is burning, but sometimes the fire is covered by smoke, right? So therefore, one should not give up the work born of his nature. So what is the nature of yours? What is the work that you're supposed to do? You should not give up. Okay, O son of Kunti, even if such work is full of fault, even the work that you do is full of fault, you should not give it up, right? So that what we understand from here, Krishna not asking you to give up everything and go become a mendicant. Like everybody start to think, oh, Hare Krishna people, some or other will brainwash you to become a brahmachari or go into this monastery. No, not like that. Every end. So because Krishna says very clearly, even if you think that you qualify to become a full-time devotee, that is your nature. So you have to do it. So once you become a devotee, full-time devotee and everything, even there's some fault, you don't have to, yo, I can't take it and run away. No, not that way. Okay. The bond, such work is full of fault. Okay. You have to perform your duty. So dutifully detached work. All right. So now Brahma Bhuta stage. All right. Brahma Bhuta stage 51 to 53. Now let's see what Krishna says. Being purified by his intelligence and controlling the mind with determination. Okay. Purified by intelligence. Okay. Purified by intelligence means what? So when we, that means when we study Bhagavad Gita, our intelligence is getting purified. Then controlling the mind with determination. And what is the determination we have to do? We have to determine to chant our rounds. Okay. When we are so, that means we have to control the mind with determination. And that determination shows in the rounds that you're chanting every day. Then after that, giving up objects of sense gratification. Right? Giving up objects of sense gratification. That means I want to do this. No, I want to do this. Okay. Being freed from attachment or hate and hatred. Okay. When a person is being free from attachment and hatred, because we understand attachment is mother of all suffering. We are attached to something. That means when the attachment is there, expectation will start. When the expectation doesn't fulfill, anger will arise. When the anger become out of control, hatred will arise. So that means being freed from attachment and hatred. Right? Then he says, one who lives in a secluded place, who eats little, who controls his body, mind, and power of speech. All right, who controls his body, mind, and the power of speech. Okay, he doesn't talk nonsense. He always controls his speech. Who is always in trance. Trance means what? Always in ecstasy. Who is detached, free from false ego, false strength, false pride, lust, anger, and acceptance of material thing. Free from false proprietorship. Right? This is mine. I am this, I am that, false proprietorship, and peaceful. So such a person is certainly elevated. So this person is certainly elevated to the position of self-realization. Right? So this is how a person achieves that Brahma Bhuta stage or self-realization stage. Then after that, 1854, what Krishna continues? He says, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, na shochati na kangshati. Sama sarveshu bhuteshu mat bhaktim labate param. Right? So now what this was Brahma Bhuta. All right. So now Brahma Bhuta means being one is being the absolute. Prasanna Atma. Prasanna Atma means fully joyful. Sochati. Sochati means in Tamil we call Sogangal. Sogam. That means lamentation. Na means no sogam. Kangshati. So Kangshati means desire. Sama, equal. Sama. In Malay also we call sama, right? Equal. In Tamil we call samam, equal. Sarveshu. Sarveshu means to all. Bhuteshu means living entity. That means same to all living entities. Mat bhaktim, my devotion. Mat means me. Bhakti means devotees. So my devotional service, right? Labate gains param transcendental. So now what Krishna says here? He says, one who is thus transcendentally situated. When the person is transcendentally situated. Okay. At once, at that particular moment, he realizes the Supreme Brahman. And what happened? He becomes fully joyful. All right? Fully joyful. So what is the joy? He never laments. Do you know, if you have that ability not to lament, it's such a piece of fantastic, amazing thing. What is lamentation in Tamil? புலம்புறது. தொட்டத்துக்கெல்லாம் புலம்புறது. ஒரு காலத்துல இப்படி இருந்தனா இப்படி ஆயிட்டேன். இது போச்சே, அது போச்சே, இது இருந்தா என்ன, ஐயோ, எங்க அப்பா இல்லையே, அம்மா இல்லையே, அது இல்லையே, இது இல்லையே, ஆட்டுக்குட்டி இல்லையே. No, we are always lamenting. Oh, where is my strength? Where is my vigor? Oh, once upon a time I was such a good looking guy. Now look at me. Now I can't work properly. Oh, my son is not looking after. Lamentation is such a horrible thing. Horrible state of mind. Right? So what happened when the person is transcendentally situated? That means spiritually situated. He realizes the Supreme Brahman. He understands the Supreme Brahman, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All right. So when he understands himself and his relationship, I'm Brahman and that is Para Brahman. All right. So I realize my Para Brahman, the Supreme Brahman, then my relationship with him, what happened? I naturally becomes very joyful. Because I know Krishna and I understand I got an exclusive relationship with Krishna, intimate relationship with Krishna, not an ordinary kind of relationship, right? So when the thing happened, that person never laments. It was such a beautiful kind of mindset, being not lamenting, right? He never laments, nor desire to have anything. After that, he just doesn't want to, whatever, I just don't care, no desire for have anything. And he's equally disposed. He's equally disposed to every living entity. He's equal to everyone, right? In that state, Krishna says, he attains pure devotional service unto me, right? So, number one, when we are transcendently situated, that means we have already purified our mind and intelligence by chanting and reading Bhagavad Gita. So, we understand that I am Brahman, that means I'm a soul, and I've got an intimate relationship with Supreme Brahman. All right, that is the Supreme Para Brahman. All right, I've got a relationship with that. And after by knowing that, I become very joyful. When I become joyful, I stop lamenting. All right. And at the same time, I don't desire to have anything because I'm so satisfied, fully satisfied. All right. At that particular moment, what I do, I always dispose towards every living entity. I see every living entity. When I see a multi-millionaire, I'm not jealous. When I see a poor pauper on the street, I'm not sorry for him. I see that animal, everyone has that tendency of Krishna. I know that every living entity, there's Paramatma, the super soul, spark. And I understand every living entity, including cockroach, they also have a intimate relationship with Krishna. I understand all this, so I'm equally disposed. So in that state of mind, the person attains the pure devotional service. Pure devotion. What is pure devotion? The devotion that is not mixed with any kind of mental state. It's pure, 100% concentrated. All right, pure. It is not tainted. Okay. Now then, in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, chapter 19, text 151. What is Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhakyavan Jiva Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bija. It's a beautiful verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Out of many millions of wandering living entity. All right. I just want you to think about it. All right. If you have a camera, please take a snapshot of this. All right. If you take a snapshot of this verse, Or you can even, if you're watching through the computer, take a photo of this. Keep it with you. Always, always, what they call, always meditate on this verse. Brahmanda Brahmite Kona. Bhakyavan Jiva. Bhakyavan means what? Very, what they call, very fortunate. Bhakyavan, very fortunate. Who? Jiva, that soul. Guru Krishna Prasade. Guru and Krishna Prasade, the mercy. Paya. Through them, the Bhakti Lata Bij. Bhakti means devotion. Lata means creeper. Bija means seed. Right? So out of many millions of wandering living entity. Okay, out of many millions of wandering living entity. One who is very fortunate. Those who are very fortunate gets an opportunity to associate with bona fide spiritual master. Right? They get a chance to associate with bona fide spiritual master. Okay. Now, how you get the bona fide spiritual? By the grace of Krishna. Right? So now, by the mercy of both, Krishna and the spiritual master. That means by the mercy of Krishna and also by the mercy of spiritual master, such a person receives the seed of creeper of devotional service, which is very rare to happen in this material world. All right. So out of many millions of wandering living, there's so many living entities, millions and trillions, uncountable in this planet and also in the outer planets. We call them alien or whatever. There's so many variety of living entity we are talking about, from as low as the virus of a chicken pox. Right? The small virus, that means the virus is alive. The virus is alive. It's a living entity. That's why it can go and terrorize such a small, tiny virus and bacteria up to great Brahma. There are so many millions of wandering living entities. And if a person is very fortunate, and all of you are very fortunate, because you got an opportunity to associate with bona fide spiritual master. Hey, who is my spiritual master? Yes, because when you are reading Bhagavad Gita, there's a purport, and Prabhupada is giving instruction. So in this Bhagavad Gita is very unique because there's Krishna, there's Arjuna, there's also Prabhupada there. So you're associating with Prabhupada in that Bhagavad Gita. All right. Now, by the mercy of Krishna and also the Prabhupada, right, or the spiritual master, so such a person receives the creeper of devotional service. So that is why that all of you are so attached to here, that you are coming for this class, despite I understand sometimes it's so, what they call, not so conducive, but still you all are coming and joining. Why? Because the creeper of devotional service is start to sprout. Okay. Now, let's move on. 55. What Krishna says, 55? Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tatvataha tato mang tatpato nyatva vishate tat anantaram. One can understand me as I am, Krishna says. One can understand me as I am, as the Supreme Personal Godhead, only by devotional service. You only can understand Krishna through devotional service as he is. And when one is in full consciousness of me, when the person becomes fully consciousness of me, by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. So that means when we perform bhakti yoga, when we perform this kind of devotional service, when we become fully conscious of Krishna, and this other person can enter into the kingdom of God. All right? In Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna says in Srimad Bhagavatam, Vyasadeva says in Canto 1, chapter 3, text 28, Iti changsa kalapumsha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indradri Vyakulam Lokam Murdayanti Yuge Yuge. So here in chapter, this thing you see that all varieties of incarnation of Krishna, right? So now, why Krishna? Why Krishna is the original Supreme Personality? Because Krishnastu Bhagavan said, all of the above mentioned incarnation are either plenary portion or the portion of the plenary portion of the Lord. What does that mean? So first portion is Garbhodakshayi and Karadakshayi, Garbhodakshayi and all this, right? Then after that, from Garbhodakshayi appeared Kshirodakshayi. So portion of the portion. Okay. But Lord Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. All of them appear in the planet whenever there is a disturbance. All the other incarnation, like Narsimha comes to protect against, protect the Prahlad, All the varieties of incarnation appear whenever there's a disturbance created by the atheist. All right. The Lord incarnates to protect the theist. Right. So in Srimad Bhagavatam is mentioned here, it's clearly described that Krishna is the original supreme personality of Godhead. Right. So how to understand Krishna in truth? So if you want to understand Krishna, then you have to take to the life of devotion under the guidance of spiritual master. See, when I see the honey, when I look at the brand honey, wow, I know it's tasty, but I cannot lick the bottle. So what I need to do, I need to open up the bottle and take the honey out to leak it. That's when I can taste the honey. Similarly, when you want to know something, you have to approach a spiritual master and surrender to him, and he will give you the knowledge where you can understand the Krishna in truth. All right. So 61 to 63. Ishvara sarva bhutanam viddeshe arjuna tistati. Brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra rudani mayaya tam eva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata tat prasadat parang shantim sthanam prapshyasi shashvatam iti te jnanam akyatam guhyat guhya tarang maya vimirshaitat asheshena yattichasi tata kuru. Now let's see what Krishna says. It's very amazing. Iti te jnanam akyatam. I have already tell you. Guhyat, the most secret of all secret. Taram maya vimirshayati asheshena yattichasi tata kuru. So now Krishna says the Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart. Okay? The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart. O Arjuna. And he's the one who are directing the wandering of all living entities as Paramatma, who are as though who are seated on a machine made of material energy. Did I break? Suddenly I see internet not stable. Did I break? Am I clear? Clear, devotees?
Yes.
Clear. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Now, okay. Now he says, so he's directing all the wandering near as though seated on a machine and made of material energy. So what are you? Paramatma is sitting in the heart and directing as though he's sitting in the seat in the machine. Just think about Transformer cartoon or movie, right? The one who sits in the machine and moves the thing as though made of material energy. So what's the word? Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani Yantra Rudani. Yantra. Yantra means machine. Imagine 5,000 years ago, Krishna speaking about machine. Yantra Rudani Mayaya. So I am sitting there as though I am directing all the wandering soul. Then second verse, Tam eva sharanam gaccha. Tam eva, unto me. Eva, will sharanam gaccha. Sarva bhavena bharata. With all your heart and soul. O sign of Bharata, surrender unto him utterly. Krishna says, Tam eva sharanam gaccha. So utterly, that means you fully, with full consciousness, with full knowledge and intelligence, surrender unto him. All right? Sarva bhavena bharata. By his grace, you will attain transcendental peace and the supreme eternal abode. Tat prasadat param shanti. Shanti means peace. Sthanam prapshyasi shashvatam. Okay. So surrender to him utterly and you will attain transcendental peace and the supreme and eternal abode. But the last part is the interesting part. Iti te jnanam akyatam. Thus, I have explained to you, knowledge is still more confidential. What is the word? Iti te jnanam akyatam guhyat guhya. Guhyat means confidential. And this is guhyat guhya. That means secret of secret. So secret of secret, that's why proper translated, that I explained to you, the knowledge is still more confidential. I have already explained to you. But at last, Krishna says, what he said? Deliberate on this fully. Deliberate on this fully. Alright, Vamishyayatat Asheshena. Deliberate on this fully. That means think about it. And then Krishna said, do what you wish to do. Yatte chasi tata kuru. Can you see this? When you look at all other kind of religion, until from the from the beginning till the end, don't surrender to, if you don't convert here, you go to hell. You don't do this, you go to hell. You have to. But Krishna said, Yatte chasi tata kuru. Deliberate on this fully and then do what you wish to do. What does that mean? Krishna is respecting your minute independence. He is not interfering with your independence. You wanted independence. You wanted to be a Ishvara, the controller, the enjoyer, Purusha. That's why you are here. So Krishna says, you want to be, of course, in my place, I am the Adi Purusha, I am the supreme enjoyer, but you cannot enjoy here. Therefore, I'll create an environment for you. You go there and enjoy. So that's what that we are all thrown into this material world to enjoy. And Krishna said, you don't only enjoy in one species of life, you enjoy in 8.4 million species of life. So we are enjoying. But why the suffering comes? Because we have forgotten our constitutional position. Right? We forgot our, okay, I just give you one good example, all right? Because I've got this, the chicken pox situation. My daughter is having a SPM. So she's staying in mother-in-law's house, staying with the grandmother. Despite she's staying with the grandmother and everything, but she seems, even though that is a grandmother and everything, but she seems to be not to be happy there. She always messaging, oh, Pa, I miss you. I want to be in nothing like to be in the family. So I want to come back to the original source. So like that we want to enjoy. And Krishna created an environment. Say you want to enjoy, go ahead and enjoy. And he created this thing. But we are enjoying, but we are enjoying without Krishna. That's why we are not happy. So now Krishna says, well, I still respect your independence, your desire, your minute independence, your freedom that you wanted, I respect. So that's why Krishna says here, deliberate on this fully. Whatever you have said from chapter 1 to here, deliberate. That means think about it very seriously. Then after that, he says, do what you wish to do. You want to fight or don't want to fight is up to you. Can you see this? You all understand? If you understand, please put a thumbs up. I want to know. Because this is very, very important. This is how the Bhagavad Gita stands out. Okay, yes, sir. Okay, so he says, deliberate on this fully and then do what you wish to do. Right. So we are towards the end. So 64. Krishna continues. Sarva guhya tamang guhya. Shrinu me paramang vacha. Istosi me dadam iti tato vakshyami ti hitam. Because you are my very dear friend. Then Krishna continues. Because you are my very dear friend, I am speaking to you the supreme instruction. The most confidential knowledge. That means sarva guhya tamam guhya. That means the most confidential knowledge of all. Hear this from me, for it is for your benefit. So at first Krishna says, you make your decision, but before that, listen to more secret. So that means Krishna is revealing more and more. So we from chapter 9, he says this is a topmost secret, then more confidential. This is even better confidential. This is the supreme wisdom, blah, blah, blah. Until now, he keeps saying there's another thing which is more secret. Krishna revealing more secret. Sarva guya tamam buya. That means sarva means all. Among all secret, this is the supreme secret. Right? So because you are my very dear friend, I am speaking to you my supreme instruction, the most confidential knowledge of all. Hear this from me, for it is for your benefit. Are you all ready for that confidential knowledge? So what is 65? Man mana bhava mad bhakto mat yaji mang namaskuru mam evashyasi satyam te prati jane priyo si me. My God, this is beautiful. Always think of me. Man mana. Always think of me. Right? Man mana. Bhava mat bhakto. Bhava mat bhakto means become my devotee. Always think of me. Become my devotee. Mat yaji mam namaskuru. Namaskaram. Namaskaram means always worship me. And offer your homage unto me. Mat yaji mam namaskuru. Mam yashashi. Okay. Then after that, Krishna says, you know what? Mam means me. Eva shashi. Thus you'll come to me without fail. But the most assuring thing is this, right? The most assuring thing is, you'll come to me without fail. I promise you this, because you are my very dear friend. What is that? Evasya satyam te. Can you imagine Krishna is promising you? This is something that we should be very assured about. So Krishna is promising you. If you just going to study the Bhagavad Gita from this, you just follow what Krishna says here. Krishna says, I promise you this. You know, where can we find? That means Krishna really wants us back. He really wants us back no matter what. Man mana bhava mat bhakto mat yaji mam namaskuru. Mam eva shashi satyam. Satyama na கூறுகிறேன். சத்தியமா சொல்றேன், நீ என்கிட்ட வந்துருவே. Satyam. Pratijana priyo. Priyo means you are very dear. Priyo, priyamanavan, sime. You are very dear to me. So that means if you are going to take up Bhagavad Gita, when you are going to read Bhagavad Gita, if you don't love Krishna, you definitely cannot read Bhagavad Gita. So when you love Krishna, Krishna will love you in back, in return. So that's why Krishna says, you will come to me without fail. I promise you this. So what else assurance do we want further? Isn't that fantastic? So that's why I'm telling you from the day one, you'll be wondering in chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 5, I say, oh, you should be very fortunate. You are definitely, you're on your path back home to God. Why? Because this is the verse. You will definitely will make it. Okay? You will definitely will make it. Okay? Then 66. After he said that, now is the time he's giving you a direct instruction. Because he already said, deliberate, think about it, what you want to do. But before that, listen to this, man mana bhava mat bhakto. Always become my devotee, worship me, you come to me, I promise you this. Right? Then after that, he said another thing which is straight, it's just a hard knock on the head, straight to the point. Sarva dharman parityaja. Sarva dharman, all kind of religiosity, parityaja, give up. Mam ekam sharanam raja. Mam means me. Ekam, only one. Sharanam raja. Just surrender unto me alone. Am tam sarva papebhyo. True that sarva papa. Sarva papa means all varieties. Papa means all varieties of sin. All right. Aham tam. True that I will remove all your sins. Sarva papa. All kind of பாவங்கள். என்னென்ன பாவங்கள் நம்ம செஞ்சிருக்கோம்? கோடி லட்ச கோடியான பாவங்கள் எல்லாத்தையும் நான் இது பண்றேன். Then after that I give you mokshiyashmi ma shuchaha. And I also will deliver you. All right? Purity. All right? So what it says here, abandon all varieties of religion. So all varieties of religion means what? The religion that motivates you for material gain. Abandon all varieties of religion. So dharma, artha, kama, moksha. I want to do this religious practice so that I can achieve this kind of success. I want this kind of this because I want that. Give it up. Any form of worship, any form of prayer that always materially motivated, give that thing up. Abandon. Krishna says abandon. Throw it. Don't even look at it. All varieties of religion. Then he says, simply just surrender unto me. Ekam. Mam ekam. Ekam means only me. Sharanam Raja. Aham tam sarva papebhyo. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. If you are having all kind of reaction, you are suffering all the prarabdha karma, sanchari karma, all varieties of karma, do not worry. I will deliver you. And Krishna says, Mokshyami ma shuchaha. Do not fear. Right? So from here, the Srimad Bhagavatam take over. In Srimad Bhagavatam chapter 1, Canto 1, chapter 1, text 2. What is it? Dharma projita kaitavatra parama nirmat sharanam satam. Vedyam vasvatam atra vastu shivadam tapa trayan moolanam. Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni krite kinva parar ishvara. Sadhyo hirdya vanurutyate tra kritibi shushu shubhistakshanat. So what is the first word? Dharma projita kaitava. So Dharma projita kaitava, when you want to go into deep studies of Srimad Bhagavatam, listen to these rules. Dharma projita, throw away all that dharma, which is kaitava dharma, which is materially motivated. Projita means throw away everything, abandon everything. No, the Bhagavatam starts there. So now Bhagavad Gita ends here, and after that Srimad Bhagavatam starts. Anyway, so now it says Sarva Dharman Parityaja. What is your belief system? What is the way of worship? Pray, give it up, abandon it. Krishna says. I am not saying, and I am giving you word by word translation, so you can be assured I am not speculating. Sarva Dharman, all kind of dharma, all kind of worship, way of style. Right? Parityaja, ma, variety, abundant. Ekam, mam ekam. Mam means me. Ekam means one. Ek doti. Ek means one. Sharanam, fully surrender. In Tamil also we call Sharanam, Saranagati. Sharanam, Sharanam Adevai. Praja. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. Aham means I. Tvam, I deliver you from all kind of sin. Sarva papa, pavangal. Sarva pavangal. Right? So, Mokshiyashmi Mashuchaha, Kavalai Padade. Baipadade. He says, Kavala Padale, Baipadade. Do not fear. I will protect you. Okay. Then, okay. Then, after that, 68, 69. What Krishna says? After that, Krishna says, this is something. For one who explained the supreme secret to the devotees. Right? The one who explained the supreme secret, that means the secret that you have heard, he explained to the devotees. Pure devotional service is guaranteed. And at the end, he will come back to me. All right? At the end, that person will come back to me. And after that, Krishna says, there's no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there anyone more dearer to me. So that's why it says that when you are distributing Bhagavad Gita, you are putting a Bhagavad Gita in somebody's hand, someone's house. Prabhupada is going to explain, because of what is our knowledge to explain to people. When we put a Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada will do his magic. When that person simply takes the Bhagavad Gita one day, when he just open it, when he start to open and start to read it, that's it. Right? So that's why I say, for one who explained the supreme secret to the devotees, your pure devotional service is guaranteed. That's why I say, when you distribute Bhagavad Gita, your pure devotional service is somehow or other guaranteed. And through that, you can come back to me. And after that, Krishna says, there's no servant is more dear to me. Or will there anyone that can be even more dearer to me than the one who distribute the Bhagavad Gita? So one who has taken Chaitanya Charitamrita, you can see down there, CCRD 9.1. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 9, text 41. One who has taken his birth as a human being in the land of India, Bharat Varsha, should make his life successful and work for the benefit of all other people. So here Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, if you are born as an Indian or have connection from the India, because we are all from India. So we are born in Malaysia, but still we are known as that. So we should understand that we should take up. So we have something on our upper hand. So we should make our human life a success. One who's taken is a form of a human being in the land of Bharat Varsha, should make his life successful by the work for benefit of others. So distribute Bhagavad Gita and make Bhagavad Gita as your lifestyle. And 73, after distributing all these, Arjuna, all right, now he's in ecstasy. Now Arjuna start to achieve self-realization. What did he say? Arjuna vacha nasto moha smritir labda tvat prasadan maya chute stitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. Nasto moha. Nasto means, right? Let me get the proper translation. So nasto moha. Nasto means okay, nasta means dispel. Okay, dispel. Moha. Moha means illusion. Smritir labda. Memory. Now memory, labda. Smriti means memory. Labda means I've gained my memory. Then tvat prasadan maya chutta. All right. By your mercy, I get back all this thing. All right. And I gata remove sandeha. Sandeha means we call sandegam. Gata sandeha. All my sandegam has been removed. Now I'm clear. Karishye vachanam tava. Karishye vachanam, I shall execute your order. Now Krishna says. So Arjuna says, Arjuna, what did he say? Oh, my dear Krishna, oh, infallible one, my illusion is now gone. Illusion means moha. I have regained my memory by your mercy. Smritir labda. Memory, I regain my memory by your mercy. Then I am now firm and free from doubt. Tattva prasadan maya chutta stitosmi gata sandeha. That means stitosis mata sandeha. That means I don't have sandegam. I am free from doubt. Karishye vachanam tava. And I'm prepared to act according to your instruction. At last, Arjuna surrenders. Now, this is the final verse. This is so inspiring. Now, Sanjaya, who spoke in the middle, at the beginning, now the final verse, Sanjaya speaking again. Sanjaya is Dhritarashtra's secretary, prime minister. What did he say? Sanjaya vacha yatra yogeshwaro krishno yatra partho danurdaraha tatra sri vijayo bhutir druvanitir matir mama. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, he says yatra yogeshwara. Yatra means wherever. Yoga Ishvara, the master of mysticism, who is Krishna, wherever there is Krishna. Yatra, wherever. Partho, Partho means the son of Pritha, Arjuna, who is Dhanurdhara. Dhanur means the bow and arrow. Dhanur, right? That means Dhanu means then the carrier of the bow and arrow. Tatra, wherever there is. So Tatra, there. Shri. Shri means what? Opulence. Shri. You know, sometimes we call Shri, right? Sometimes Shri is what? Mahalakshmi. So Shri. So that place, Tatra, that place. Tatra means that place. There. Shrir. Shrir means opulence. Sagala Saubhakyam. Shrir. All the opulence are there. And not only that, Vijaya. Vijaya means victory. Bhuti. Bhuti means exceptional power. Okay. Dhruva. Certainly. Needy. Needy means what? Needy means morality. Needy man. No? Needy pola nadandhuka. What is enna needy illama pesren? Enna needy? Enakku needy kedaikada. Needy means morality. All right. Matir mama. That is my opinion. So now Arjuna, Sanjaya is saying, wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. So what we can understand from this, where we can see Yogeshwara Krishna, where can we see Partho Dhanurdhara, where we can see that Arjuna with bow and arrow, where we can see the mystic Krishna in full military uniform, military outfit, where we can see them. The one and only place we see them unite, we see them is in Bhagavad Gita. So whenever there's a Bhagavad Gita, you kept, prayed, worshipped, carried with you. That's why I'm telling you to take the Bhagavad Gita wherever you go. Never leave your house without Bhagavad Gita. Keep it with you. Every day, worship that Bhagavad Gita. Every day, read that Bhagavad Gita. Study the Gita. Make Bhagavad Gita is your lifestyle. Because that's what Sanjaya said. There will also, whenever these two persons exist, that place will certainly be opulence. There will be certainly victory. And you will have extraordinary power. Nothing in these three worlds can come and touch you. And morality. That is my opinion. So with that, with this, we finish our commitment of Bhagavad Gita, entire 18 chapters. We have completed today on 10th January 2025. Thus complete batch 5 of Bhagavad Gita, Gita Gyan program. So please, since it's the last session with all of you, I would like to humbly beg you, please take this commitment RDC formula very firmly. Read Bhagavad Gita on a daily basis, distribute Bhagavad Gita and chant Hare Krishna, because chanting Hare Krishna, reading Bhagavad Gita and distributing Bhagavad Gita will produce extraordinary power, peace, happiness within your heart. With that, we end the session. So we open for questions or any reflection. Is there any questions, any reflection? How do you find this class for the last 18 days? How the thing has transformed your life? Anybody like to say something? Or you prefer to just post it in the group? Okay, you all prefer to post in the group. All right. Oh, thank you, showing us spirit and joy, spiritual service. Yes, Mataji, I'm always in your service. So, if you feel good about it, please put a testimony. And I also like to listen to your testimony, how the thing has changed your life. You can either send as a text, you can make your selfie video, all right? Because I would like to update to my authorities, especially my spiritual master, because he's always loved to see this, right? I'm so happy the huge transformation happened to so many people, especially the person here, Chegu. Okay, the Chegu is actually none other than Dasarathan. He just called and, he went and attended Radha Yatra in KL. First time in his life, from, I think all the way from JB, he went to KL just to attend the Radha, first time in his life. So I'm so happy and excited to see the huge transformation happen to him. All right, like that, I believe that all of you have been facing a lot of transformation. And of course, I'm so happy once when Skanda Prabhu called me from uh, from Australia, he said, why there's no center here? And I think he saw something on TV, right, about that cow farming or something like that. From this voice, I understood. He had started to have so much of compassion. And he's asking where is the nearest ISKCON temple. So because he wants his children, the sons, all to go and attend. That's fantastic. That's a transformation, right? So like that. And K7, I'm so happy to see that a lot of huge transformation happening in your life, especially you have taken up the commitment of going and doing Harinam Sankirtan, all right, with your friend Vivan, that every Saturday or Sunday you're going to every 1 or 2 houses, do some Kirtan and Bhajan, and encourage them to take up Bhakti back seriously. It's such a applauding, right? And of course, Krishna Rubini, who is also our Bhakti Yoga Center participant. Sometimes whenever I feel like I want to take a break, I always remember her because she's so enthusiastic. She always wants to learn more, you know. So when I said that I'm going to take a break because of this my chickenpox condition, she was the one that most upset. Oh, I'm going to miss this. So that enthusiasm, even though sometimes I'm tired, I'm extremely lethargic, but she is the person that always motivate me, go and open the Namahat Center and do the program. All right. So my gratitude to you,
Yes,
Krishna Rupini. All right.
yeah,
And
something
also,
enlightened me. Krishna enlightened me.
yeah. Then of course, my gratitude to Saras Karupan Mataji. She is also one of my first initial Gita Gyan student. She is from Kolakangsa. She gave me such a big inspiration. She said from the day that she wakes up until the day that she goes to bed, she simply chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Right? She's living, I think, alone with his with the parents' house, but she's so detached. She always engage her mind and thinking, and she just, I think once she told me that she's just go on chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and she feels so much of peace, so much of happiness. So she has taken up this bhakti very seriously, right? My gratitude to you. And of course, to Karpia Saraswati Mataji, who was also our pioneer student with Gita Gyan, and also our student with all that program that we conduct under the Bhakti Yoga Center. So she has been very enthusiastic, and she have taken up this bhakti very seriously. And she also encouraged the son and the daughter-in-law also to take up and study the Bhagavad Gita. So somehow or other, she's been the inspiration. I mean, she's accepted the thing that Krishna is Samam Bonam, and she's doing her job, right? Fantastic. And of course, nothing to say, our Vanita Mataji, who was my first student when I first do this Gita Gyan program for the first time, February 2021. She was the first batch. And of course, she has been my inspiration all the while. She has been sacrificed herself even during the COVID situation. She took a big risk. She go to every house and give the japa mala, right? Chant Hare Krishna. Next day, she said, have you chanted? She take the mala and go to the next house. Now you chant Hare Krishna. Like that, she went to every house and encouraged people to chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And all of them are not from any devotee background, but somehow or other, they inspired through this Gita Gyan program. So I think I didn't miss anyone. All right. So my humble gratitude to all of you. Thank you so much for being my biggest inspiration. I'm so inspired with your enthusiasm. All right. So till we meet again. So I wish you best of luck. I wish you that Krishna bless you with ecstatic love of devotional service. And I hope that you study Bhagavad Gita on a daily basis, make Bhagavad Gita as a lifestyle. And of course, now we're going to start this our program. Still, I'm contemplating. I'm just doing some slides here and there, anticipating to start somewhere around January 20th, or it might even maybe push, but by February we definitely start. All right, the the Sastra study marathon. Right, it's going to be on a daily basis in the morning, starting from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Right, but of course, whenever there's a time, sometimes people are busy. I need to go for a medical checkup. We just cancel the class and we just take it lightly, but seriously we perform that class, right? So sometimes you can't make it, it's okay, you can still go back to your YouTube channel. But how I know you, please like the YouTube channel. That's when I know people are watching, because I see so many people are viewed, but I don't know how many people really watched. So when people watch, when they put a thumbs up, so make sure that you do that and share this video with all your friends and family, and encourage more people, right? So encourage more people to come out for this program. Thank you so much, sir. I'm fortunate to know you and know Krishna as Supreme Person. Got it. My pleasure to know. My pleasure also. Any books need to prepare for the Sastra class? Okay. First is Ishopanishad. First is either Nectar of Instruction or Ishopanishad. Of course, I'll be sharing that Veda base. Okay, but it's better if you can have the book. Okay, nothing always exciting on computer, because the visible book is very important, right? Because Krishna says he lives in this book, he doesn't live in your database computer, and it is Srimad Bhagavatam. So you always must keep it with you, right? Keep it with you. So certain books I have, certain books I don't have. If the books that I don't have, you can either get it here or get it online, or maybe you can get it in other centers. Anyway, we will discuss this, right? So is there any questions? Anything that you like to say before we end this batch 5 for good? All right. So all good. All right. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. If I've said anything wrong that I've offended anyone, please kindly forgive me. Maybe just with the flow of words, or sometimes that I may irritated, maybe the certain words that I've offended you, please kindly forgive me. So whatever I've said to you, whatever I've discussed with you, nothing of this is my own personal opinion. Everything that I spoke to you or shared with you is what I've heard from my seniors, right? Especially my mentor, Pran Govinda Prabhu from Alachua, America. And also through my spiritual master, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, and by Srila Prabhupada, of course, our founder Acharya, and all the previous Acharyas, right? And from this thing, whatever I heard, and I'm just conveying to you. Nothing of this is my personal opinion. So if I've said anything wrong, please forgive me. And I would like to offer my humble obeisances, my Dandavat Pranam to each and every one of you, thanking you from bottom of my heart for following this Gita Gyan program. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha paditanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. Have a beautiful day. Hare Bol.